What's up, guys? Matty Ice here to show you how to turn on and run the Famber Hall production booth. I know you guys are having a show on Friday, so break a leg. Shout out to Jay for everything he's doing. Anyway, I'm going to show you everything. First, we're in Famber. This is the booth on the right side with all the cool techie things in it. I'm going to show you how to turn the lights on first. So you see this panel up here. Setting 1 is the full house. Setting 2 all the way to 4 is dimmers. To turn off the lights, you just press off. So I'm going to turn it back on again. If you want these little fancy candle thingies or the cam lights in the ceiling, you just turn on these 3 right here. They're not controlled by this panel though, so I'm going to turn them off because I don't want them. Over here, we've got our front of house soundboard. Here is our Quips station. It's the Mac that's built in. Over here, we call GFX. The ECU unit is right there. And I'll show you those remotes and stuff here in just a minute. But to turn on the soundboard, you don't have to go anywhere weird. All you have to do is feel around to the right side of the board. There's one switch back there. You'll hear a pop. That's normal. That just means it's being turned on or turned off. You'll hear it both times. It's loading. If you need a full tutorial on this board for some reason, you can look up Behringer. That's the name brand, Behringer X32 Compact. There's some great tutorials there. Let me show you real quick some of the things on here that you'll need. Over here on the right is your main fader. This is your house speakers that are flown in the ceiling as well as on the floor. So you turn it up. I usually put it about -10, maybe a little over. So that way, if there's kids in the room that have sensory issues, you won't be too loud in here on Friday. And you'll just leave it there the whole time. We'll just go right to left. This is your outputs. This is your inputs. Over here is your groups. We call them DCAs in tech world. This dark blue one is your computer. That's your Quips. That controls your sound for the Spotify. I usually put it about here. You can adjust it accordingly. This is all of your microphones in one group. This FX button that's gray is your effects. If you want something to echo, it'll just be like that. You just turn up the fader. If you don't want any echo, you leave it down there. You don't really need these. Also, this is important. I do want to clarify this. This button right here, you don't need it. It's for a Mac that is currently not in the room that sits by the piano. That's the tracks for the Modern Worship Service. So you don't need this at all. Leave this muted. You don't need to touch it. You're going to use this one, the Quips. And on the input side, you'll see the channels here. There's 32 channels. They're in groups of 8. You're going to be on button number 3, which is channel 17 through 24. These are where your microphones are. They're currently unmuted. And your microphones are located back here. They take AA batteries. All you need to do to power them on is just hit the switch that's located on them. That's it. Just make sure they're unmuted on the board. The only one that's different is mic 5. It's a button instead of a switch. The button is red. You can't miss it. One more thing to note, channel 25, this is your Quips here on the input side. If for some reason you guys run a video from GFX, it's here if you need to turn it up. I'm going to leave it turned down for you so you don't get confused on Friday. So that's that. All you have to do is just mess with this here on the output side if you're not playing with that station over there. Remember, this is Quips. This is GFX. All right. To turn off the board, just make sure you turn this down back to the very bottom. That's your house fader. And then you just feel the switch there. You'll hear another pop and it's off. That's it for front of house.